If there's one thing that flipped the world upside down this year, it's Stranger Things. With the insane success, the fans just can't get enough. So, when the news for a VR series came out, let's just say that everyone lost it. We've got questions and concerns. Will Crissy die again? What's going on with the series? How is it all gonna play out? Well, keep watching to find out. First up, Scream Park trailer finally revealed. We've all been wanting a Stranger Things VR series or game forever, but all we've really got are a couple of mobile games that never really took off. But now, we're gonna get something that's pretty similar to that. Scream Park, a new VR series by Blackbox TV, has just released a trailer. Now, you might be wondering, how is this like Stranger Things in any way? Well, it literally stars the one and only Grace Van Dien as the main character. The series will be a 360-degree VR experience that traps the audience in a spooky amusement park. Kelly Q is a lost soul stuck in the haunted amusement park, overrun by demonic creatures. To get out of Scream Park, viewers need to follow Kelly Q's every order and ride on the terrifying roller coasters. Instead of just viewing the series from the comfort of their sofas, Scream Park's audience will use their VR headset to experience the horrors of the eerie setting. The series was created specifically for Meta Quest 2. Users can actually go in any direction while riding the roller coasters and get all sorts of different perspectives of the terrifying area of Scream Park. With Van Dien committed to the project, Scream Park might give us something surprising for Halloween this year. Next, will Crissy die again? Even though she died in the very first episode, Van Dien's Chrissy Cunningham became a fan favorite of Stranger Things. She was Vecna's first victim after all, and her death was probably the most shocking out of all of them, to say the least. People dying isn't new in TV series, but they've never really been that graphic before. It was obvious the writers decided to take a step further with this season. Crissy was just a regular high school cheerleader when she randomly started getting these terrifying visions. She had no idea what to do to stop them and decided to buy drugs from Eddie to calm herself down. Unfortunately, she died in Eddie's trailer while waiting for said drugs. The villain murdered her by forcing their subconscious to go into the upside down, while their bodies fly in the air and deform until their bones crack in the actual world. Yikes. Because of this, a lot of people are wondering if Crissy, or Kelly Q, in Scream Park will also die yet again in this new VR series. Well, that's something we're just gonna have to wait and find out. Although, it wouldn't really make any sense for them to make a horror series without any death scenes, especially since they're at a haunted amusement park. Also, why did they choose Van Dien as the main character? Even though Van Dien was already a pretty well-established actress, it was Stranger Things that really got her onto the worldwide radar. Because of her amazing performance, it would be crazy not to cast her in another horror series or movie. That's probably why Blackbox TV decided to go with her. On top of that, she also became a Twitch streamer not long after the show's 4th season came out. So, considering her experience with horror series and video games just makes her the perfect casting for the main character of Scream Park. Not only does she have millions of stans because of her role as Crissy, but she's also solidified that fan base by harnessing them into a successful streaming career. With all of those people backing her up, she alone would be enough marketing to get the VR hit worldwide. Here's why Stranger Things is perfect for a VR series. Now that Scream Park is coming out, a lot of people can't help but wonder how awesome it would be to have a Stranger Things VR series or the game too. Stranger Things' style has become one of the most iconic in today's mainstream culture. People know what kind of experience they're in for the moment they see a neon red light, some dark dust, and some 80s music. This immediately recognizable design is ideal for a VR experience where the viewers can get close and personal with all of the show's iconic visuals. Monsters like Demogorgons, Mind Flayer, or now Vecna were already pretty creepy to look at, but with a VR, they'll probably be terrifying. Given there aren't many high-budget 80s-inspired VR experiences out there, Stranger Things' 80s style would also be pretty unique in the VR market. Also, since Stranger Things is mainly a horror genre, a Stranger Things VR game has the potential to do fairly well, since horror games or series are one of VR's best-selling genres. A Stranger Things VR game can be about the player getting stuck in the upside down, finding their way out by doing various challenges, while at the same time avoiding all the monsters and using puzzle concepts to escape rooms and situations. Technically speaking, a Stranger Things VR experience was already released back in 2017, but it was basically a tech demo with very minimal gameplay. That's why the timing is ideal for the release of a full-fledged, high-budget Stranger Things VR series or game, especially considering Season 5 will be the last one. Next, this is what Van Dien thinks of Stranger Things' success. Stranger Things had always been very successful, even from its first seasons, but Netflix shows have a tendency to deteriorate as more and more seasons are released. That's why everyone was basically dreading Season 4. No one wanted such a good show to start going in the wrong direction. But the complete opposite has happened instead. The 4th season wasn't just successful, successful? No. It became the most watched series on Netflix. It does make a lot of sense considering each season cost $30 million to make. After being part of a show this big, it was inevitable that Van Dien got popular not just among the fans, but even production companies that wanted her to be a part of their project. Despite all this, the actress still remains pretty humble. According to her, all her goals are the same as they've ever been, just in more reach now. She loves telling stories that other people can relate to and wants to continue doing that. Speaking of, what's her next project? Coming up, what's Van Dien's new movie? While Grace quickly became everyone's favorite, her character died just as quickly, so we barely got to see her in Stranger Things at all. And now that she's, well, dead, there's a pretty low chance that she'll be returning for the final season. But there are other projects that she'll be appearing in soon, like her new movie, Roost, by Amy Redford. The movie is based on Scott Organ's play and stars Van Dien as Anna, a teenage girl. Anna falls in love with a man in his late 20s whom she met online. If things couldn't get any worse, the man suddenly appears at her front door one day. But little does she realize that's only one troubling aspect of a far more complicated situation. But why did Amy Redford choose Roost as her second movie? The first film Amy Redford directed was the 2008's The Guitar, and hasn't really been in the spotlight since, until now with The Roost. So why did she choose this as her second film? Well, the writer of Roost, Scott Organ, actually sent the play to her during COVID time. When she read the script, she realized it could easily be a great movie, not just a play. And that's exactly what she decided to do with it. Redford specifically loved his script because she mentioned how he never demonizes people. She took a little break for a couple of years because she was busy being a mom and raising her kids. But now that they're older, she has a little more stability in her life when things aren't all over the place. So it was the perfect time for her to continue doing what she loved the most, directing movies. Finally, the movie breaks the stereotype. Amy Redford also talked about how Anna isn't the average teenage girl that you'd see in movies. Most of the time, they're usually bratty, annoying, and don't want to listen to anyone or anything. Not to mention, they can also be extremely immature too. While there's no denying that there are some teenagers that act this way, most of them aren't. You can't just generalize a whole age group based on how a few of them act. That's exactly why Redford decided to make Anna a little different than what we usually see. She's shown to be more mature for her age, even if she does make a few mistakes here and there. Her being slightly more mature than what's usually depicted for teenagers brings a more relatable aspect to her, which is probably why so many people liked her character in the first place. And that's a wrap for today's video. Do you think the VR series will become a success? Make sure to let us know in the comments down below. And as always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more videos like this one. We'll see you next time.